We have easels at Artiste because we want people to express themselves while they're here. The idea is to get each of the people who walk in the door to express themselves in a way that they wouldn't normally do in a tasting room. At Artiste, we have 8 different artists that we rotate, not only on the walls where we showcase their new exhibits, but also on the labels. Each of the artists has their own unique style.
Hi, I'm Christina LoCascio, and I'm an artist, and my medium is wine. I paint with wine on watercolor paper.
She's a local artist that we had the luck of meeting when we first opened. She managed our tasting room for us. She accidentally spilt a little bit of wine on watercolor paper, and that was while she was teaching a class on painting here at Artiste.
The color of wine is the first thing that you look at when you think about a wine or evaluate or when you go to taste. And I thought this is actually a very good pigment. I mean, you basically are staining onto cotton. So you have a cotton paper and then applying the wine, and then as you layer the wine on the previous layer, you start to develop darker areas. And Bion came to me and he thought, you know, this is a really cool concept. This is something that I haven't seen before, and you know, I'm going to give you a shot on the labels if you're interested. You know, I'll feature your work. I tend to gravitate more towards using varietals that have a darker color, Syrah, Cabernet. I've used a varietal, it's a German grape, Dornfelder, that has a very, very dark pigment. White wine functions to help lift the color off the paper. It's a natural stain lifter in a lot of ways. It also helps if I want to have a softer edge or a wash or a background. So it's basically what I can get my hands on and what I like to drink. So I can have a glass myself. That's always important.
So with Tre Uve, it's 3 clusters of grapes, and they look like they're just about to fall off the vine. Really, you know, beautiful and ripe. And so when I saw that image, I knew that that blend had to be a blend of 3 grapes. And so the blend that came together was Nebbiolo, Cabernet, and Syrah.
Tre Uve evolved from the wine that spilled onto the paper. And I liked that because it gave it a little more energy behind the painting itself.
Her imagery is very Italian themed. A lot of her paintings have been from her trips to Italy, in Tuscany or Barbaresco or Barolo. So more often than not, those blends that I create for her art, for her labels, are, you know, blends of Nebbiolo and Cabernet and Syrah for the Barbarescos, or if it's more of a Tuscany image, we'll blend Sangiovese and Cabernet.
This particular courtyard is a scene from France.
Silent Sunlight is a blend of Pinot Noir, Syrah, and Chardonnay. And I chose that painting for it because I think of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay and Syrah as this blend in particular as a light summer style wine that I'd want to have in a courtyard, sitting there enjoying Burgundian cuisine. Very unorthodox blend for American standards, and even for France. I was very surprised. I found that the Chardonnay added a lot to the Pinot Noir in the sense of adding acidity, but also softening the palate tremendously and adding some nice citrus notes. And then the Syrah boosted the color back up to where the Pinot Noir was before I added the Chardonnay. It added some white pepper and some earthy tones as well to the blend.
My world is about wine. I live on a vineyard. My husband makes wine. I assist him in the winery. I've worked in the wine industry for 8 years now. So I think my life is so much about wine, and I am so interested in wine as art itself, winemaking as an art, that to me, wine is the perfect medium. It fits just my interest, my life.
So there is a real parallel between what she does and what I do.
You know, wine is such a sensory experience. The first thing you do is you smell the wine, you taste the wine, you experience the mouthfeel. And I think painting with it is another way of exploring wine.
She paints with wines, different varieties, and her different varieties give her different hues. And so I look at that very similarly to what I do in that I'm using a palette using different grapes to create my wines.